Hi, good morning. We've got a couple minutes left before we start class, so welcome everyone who's tuning in. Happy Tuesday. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. So welcome those who are joining, maybe some of my regulars that were at the Gateway Arch Visitor Center popping in. Hopefully we'll get to see you again pretty soon in a few weeks. See some familiar faces, and hopefully some new faces as well that'll come and join us at the Gateway Arch. And as it gets warmer, we'll actually be moving to Keener Plaza. So we'll be outside. It'll be nicer than today. And we've got a little over a minute left. So if you have some blocks, you can go ahead and grab them. And I have a little visitor here. I'm gonna shoo him out. All right, it's almost time to get started. If you have a mat, great. If not, you can use your rug, you can use a blanket, you can use a towel, whatever works for you. If you don't have blocks, books, water bottles, anything that's about this high and can support you is a great option. For blocks for support, like under your body, your lower back, I always recommend a rolled up blanket, rolled up towel, or a pillow or cushion as well. Those work fantastic. If you are interested in investing in some blocks, you can order from Amazon. So I got these at Five Below. They're like $5 each. But you can get some pretty nice blocks. These have been around for a while. They've lasted me for a while, and you can get them for a pretty decent price, especially if you're starting a home practice or you're just starting a practice. Blocks are fantastic. I recommend them for everyone, no matter what your yoga level. So welcome to class. Welcome to our Gateway Arch series, even though we're away from the arch for a few weeks. My name is Nikki, for those of you who don't know me. We'll get started in just a moment. I graduated with the first Yoga Buzz teacher training class. I've been teaching for a little over 2 years. Very blessed to represent this organization who has brought so much into my life and into the community as well. For those who are not familiar to Yoga Buzz, just joining us, or a little bit familiar, we do pop-up events around town when we can. Right now it's a little on hiatus. And the money for those events goes to help yoga scholarships for our teacher trainers, yoga for accessibility, yoga for everyone, bringing yoga to the community, making it all inclusive, bringing it to people who normally maybe wouldn't come into a studio, who don't have access to a studio. We make it accessible for everyone that we can, and we make our classes accessible as well. So check out not just my classes, but all the classes that we have online. They are free. If you can donate, we truly appreciate it. It goes to paying the teachers, and it goes to keeping Yoga Buzz going through this difficult time that we're all having here. If you can't, that's wonderful too. Well, it's not wonderful, but if you can't, that's great too, because we want to make sure that everyone gets yoga no matter what your situation is. So we'll get started today on our backs. Just find a nice, comfortable position. Legs can be long, knees bent. It's whatever feels good. Let's go ahead and take one hand on our belly and one on our chest. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes here if that feels good. And just focus in on your breath. We're going to take about 5 rounds of breath here. As you inhale, notice how that breath feels coming down your throat, expanding your lungs, expanding your belly. And as you exhale, start to release and let go. Let go of not just your breath. Let go of any stress that you're feeling, any tension, any tightness in your body, anything negative you're holding on to. Try to let that go. Big breaths in through the nose. And when you release that breath, open your mouth and just let it out. It can be a nice big sigh of breath. It can be as loud as you want. Let's take one more breath here. In through the nose, nice and big. And a big exhale. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or gaze soft. Reach your arms overhead and your legs come long. Wrap your left fingers around your right wrist and lean over to the left side. Scoot your legs over to the left side as well. So you're making almost a banana shape with your body, or a little C shape, stretching out the right side of your body. So just imagine as you're breathing here, you're creating space all through the side of your body, lengthening out the muscles, creating space in your joints between your ribs and your armpit, through your wrist and your fingers. This is one of my favorite stretches in the morning too before I get up, just to stretch everything out. Let's take about one more round of breath. Inhale a little bit more. Exhale, relax the muscles. On your next inhale, come back to center and switch sides. Wrap your right fingers around your left wrist. Lean over to the right side. Scoot your legs over to the right. Make that banana shape with your body as well. On this side, lengthening out the left side of your body, just creating shape, space all along that side of your body. Couple more breaths here. Just lengthen everything out. So I always like to tell my classes that I'm here to guide you through, but this is your class for your body. Listen to your body. Take a break when you need to take modifications, grab a drink. Whatever feels right for you today, please take that. On your next inhale, come back to center. Release your hands and bring your knees in towards your belly. You can take your arms out to your side, and as you exhale, let your legs fall to the right side. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale over to the left. Your legs don't have to come down to the ground. It can be a little movement. Just move here with your breath. Kind of massaging the lower back and getting some movement into the spine. We'll take about 3 more rounds of breath here with a nice gentle twist. Take 1 more round of breath. And come back up through center. Bring the knees in a little closer to your belly and rock and roll long on your spine a few times from your tailbone to your shoulders and back. Maybe the 3rd or 4th time crossing your legs and coming up to seated, or however you need to get up to seated, find your way. And then we're going to come into tabletop. So maybe swing your legs around, or if it works better for you, roll through, whatever is comfortable here. You're going to bring your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Spine is long, pulling your belly. Press into the tops of your knees and your toes and your knuckles. Take a big inhale and let your belly drop towards the ground. Exhale, press into the earth, arch your back up towards the sky. Move here with your breath at your pace. So this is when you start to connect your breath with the movement of your body, imagining them as one being, just moving nice and fluid. And feel free to take any extra moves if you like to sit your hips back, or if you like to sway them side to side, or you do barrel rolls with your chest. Or maybe try something a little bit different today. One of the things I love about yoga is it's a safe place to try something new. Maybe you find something you love, a different pose or variation. Maybe you find you don't really like that. You see other people doing it, but you don't really like that in your body. But at least you know, and you've tried it. Let's take one more breath. And sometimes you can surprise yourself with what you can do. On your next inhale, come back into that nice neutral tabletop position. Take a full breath here and imagine as you inhale, your tailbone and the crown of your head are reaching a little further. Exhale, press a little bit more into your knees and your knuckles. I keep almost forgetting what those are called. Bring your toes close together. Knees can stay where they're at, or you can take them wide. Sit your hips back, reach your arms forward. Take 2 breaths here for child's pose. So you can bend your elbows, one arm on top of the other, and rest your forehead. You can put a block under your forehead if that's more comfortable. If your lower back is bothering you, bring your knees in a little bit closer together. On your next inhale, come back up into tabletop. And you're going to press down into your knuckles. Maybe walk your hands forward a little bit, depending where your down dog is. Press into your knuckles, tuck your toes, hips come up, and then back for down dog. Feel free to keep a nice bend to your knees here for less intensity on your hamstrings and lower back. Maybe pedal it out, move your hips side to side, whatever feels good. If you're wanting some more movement today, you can shift forward into plank and back to down dog a few times. We're going to take about 2 more rounds of breath here, whatever feels good. Sometimes I like to lift up on the balls of my feet, bend my knees down towards the ground, stretching out my feet and my toes, lengthen up and lower my heels. One more breath in your down dog. And then find some stillness in your dog. One breath. Imagine your shoulder blades sliding up your back. Tailbone tips up towards the corner of the ceiling and the wall. Press into the knuckles. On your inhale, look at the top of your mat. Exhale, step your feet forward a little wider than your hips. Let your head hang heavy. You can grab your elbows or let your fingers hang down here. Maybe sway side to side, nod your head yes or no. Bend or lengthen your legs. You want your head to be really, really heavy like a bowling ball. And it's just pulling down on your spine, just creating space between your vertebrae, just like we created along the side of the body. Lengthening everything out. If you have your elbows, go ahead and release them. Press down into the soles of your feet and roll up nice and slow. Stack your vertebrae one on top of the other. And let your head be the last thing to come up. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Open up your chest. Get things moving. And then we're going to come into a nice neutral position. So heels come under your hips. Shoulders back. Palms forward. Pulling your lower abs just a little bit to bring that tailbone down and lift your chin. Take a breath in through your nose. Big exhale. Inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale to reach up. Soften your knees as you fold forward, swan dive. Inhale, lift halfway, come to a nice flat back. Your fingers can come to your shins or your thighs or your blocks. And fold forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift halfway. Lengthen up through the spine, and you can keep those knees a little bent. And fold. 1 more time, nice half lift. And lower. And on your next inhale, rise all the way up, reach for the sky. Bring your palms together, exhale, bring them down to your heart. Inhale to reach up. Soften your knees and fold forward. Halfway lift to that flat back. And fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come together, down to your heart. We're going to add a little more movement. Reach up for the sky. Soften your knees to fold. Halfway lift to that flat back. And fold. Plant your hands or bring them to your blocks. And step your right foot back. Lower your knee. Come into a nice low lunge. If you need to, you can cushion your left knee with your mat or blanket or anything else that feels good here. Fingers reach up to the sky. Relax your shoulders. Pull back a little on the left hip. Right hip comes forward just a little bit more. Good. Fingers stay nice and energized. Jaws relaxed, corners of the mouth turn up because we're having a fantastic time starting our Tuesday out with some yoga. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine a little bit more. Exhale, sweep your fingers down and back, lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale to rise up, root down into that right foot. Good, 2 more times like that. Sweep your fingers down and back. Inhale to rise up. 1 more time, nice big sweep. Root down into the left foot and rise up. Good, fold forward, grab a block if you need it, plant your right hand. Left hand comes to your hip or your sky, or the sky, take a nice twist. Shoulders are stacked. Maybe take your right hand, your left hand, and wrap it around your lower back, opening up your shoulder a little bit more. Maybe tuck your right toe and lift your right knee. Take 1 more breath wherever you're at. If your knee is lifted, lower it. Reach your fingers up to the sky. Plant your hands, step back to your tabletop. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back, down dog. Next, exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift to that nice flat back and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach for the sky. Palms come together, exhale to your heart. Let's go to the left side, reach up to the sky and fold forward. Halfway lift, nice flat back and fold. Plant your hands or bring them to a block, step your left foot back, lower your knee, come into that nice low lunge on this side. Inhale to rise up, relax your shoulders, fingers energized. Pull back on that right hip, press forward on the left, press down into your right foot. Your knee and toe are in line with each other. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine a little bit more. Keep it long as you sweep your fingers down and back. Root down into that right foot to rise back up. 2 more like that, nice big sweep. Inhale to rise. And 1 more time, sweep those fingers down and back. Inhale to rise up. This time as you fold forward, bring your left hand to the ground or block. Right hand comes to your hip or the sky, and again, you can wrap that arm around your lower back. You can tuck your back toe and float your knee if you'd like. Whatever feels good here. We're going to take about one more round of breath. Lower your knee if it's lifted. Reach your fingers up to the sky, and then plant your hand and step back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back for down dog. On your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift that nice flat back and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms come together, exhale to your heart. Inhale to rise up. Soften your knees and fold forward. Halfway lift that flat back and fold. Plant your hands or bring them to the block. Right foot steps back, and we're going to rise up into a high lunge. So relax your shoulders just like our low lunge. Shoulders relaxed, fingers are energized. Pull back a little on the left hip. Your right knee might bend a little bit more. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale, sweep your fingers down and back. Root down into that left foot to rise back up. Good. This time we're going to add a little twist. So you're going to take a little twist to the left side. You can bend your elbows or arms can come long. And come back to center. Fold forward, plant your hands or grab a block. You're going to turn in your right heel, walk yourself to center, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So this block is really nice here for some support. Take a couple breaths here. Maybe bend and lengthen the legs. Maybe reach for your ankles. Reach back behind you. Whatever feels good here. Just take a few breaths here. And then find your way into a nice wide-legged forward fold. Toes can come out slightly if that's comfortable. If this is really intense on your hamstrings and low back, put a little bend to your knees. You're going to walk your hands, maybe your block forward a bit. We're going to come into a wide-legged down dog. So just like a regular down dog, press into your knuckles. Your tailbone tilts up and back. Shoulder blades slide up the back. Relax your neck and your jaw. Take one breath here. And then walk your hands a little quarter circle over to the left side. So maybe bring that block with you. And this might be where you're at. This is a great place to be. Maybe you get a little closer to your left foot. Maybe you can take your right hand to your left foot. Left hand can reach up or not. So find that nice comfortable position. We're going to be here another full breath. See what feels good this morning. And then you're going to gently walk yourself back to that wide-legged forward fold, maybe with your block, maybe with your hands to the ground. Take a full breath here. And then walk yourself a little quarter circle over to the right side, finding that nice sweet spot on this side. So a nice stretch, but nothing sharp or painful. Just waking up the body a bit. One more breath. And from here, you're going to turn your right toes to face that edge of your mat. You're going to bend your right knee, start to bring yourself around to your right foot, turn up the left heel. Step your left foot up to meet right. Halfway lift and lower. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come down to heart. Inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift to that flat back. Lengthen through the crown of the head and fold. Step your left foot back behind you. Rise up into your lunge. Pull back on that right hip. Press forward on the left. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, sweep those fingers down and back. Press into that left foot to rise back, or the right foot to rise back up. And we're going to take that twist to the right side, so it can be elbows bent or arms long, whatever is comfortable for you. And then inhale, come back to center. Good. Exhale, fold forward. And then maybe grab your block and walk yourself back to the left side, finding wide-legged forward fold again. So toes can be straight ahead or maybe out a little bit or in a little bit, whatever's comfortable for you here. And you're going to plant your left hand to the block or the ground. Bring it right under your shoulder. Right hand comes to your hip or all the way up to the sky. Take one inhale to really reach. Exhale, let that hand come down. Wrist under your shoulder and reach your left fingers to your hip or the sky. Inhale to lengthen through the fingers in the crown of the head. Exhale, let that hand come down. So we're just going to move with our breath a couple times. Inhale, reach your fingers up. Exhale, let that hand come down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on down. One more time each side, moving with your breath. One more inhale. Good. Gently walk yourself towards your left foot. Turn your left toes to the front edge of your mat. Lift up the right heel. Bring your right foot up to meet left. Halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. And fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Reach for the sky. Palms come together. Exhale, bring them down to your heart. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Let's take a little bit of a twist here. So you can grab your block if you'd like. Walk your hands, maybe your block, over to your right foot, to the outside of your right foot. You're going to bend your left knee and then push a little bit into your right hip. Good. So you can have your block at whatever height. You can have it at that top height, lower height, or bring your hands down to the ground. It's whatever it's comfortable for you here. And then lengthen the left leg, walk yourself through center, grab your block if you need it, and then this time bend the right knee and push into your left hip. Take a couple breaths here. And then bring yourself back to center. Soften your knees and rise up. Bring your palms together, lace your fingers, bring just your pointer fingers up. Relax your shoulders. Imagine your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, lean over to the right side. Push into your left hip. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to the left side and push into your right hip. Good. Let's do that one more time each side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, lean it over. Inhale through center. Exhale, lean it over. Come on back to center. Release your hands and bring them down. We're going to do a couple standing balances. So we're going to start, we haven't done chair pose today. Kind of shocking, I always throw chair pose in there. So we're going to start with our chair pose. So feet are close together, big toes might even touch. Shoulders come back, pull those lower abs in. Hands come to your heart, shoulder blades down your back, and start to sit back like you're sitting in a chair. You don't have to come very low, but while you're here, it's very easy, especially if you bring your arms up, for that tailbone to tilt up. So think of pulling in through these lower abdominals again to find a nice long line from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. Palms can stay together. You can reach them forward like you're offering a gift, or you can bring bicep towards your ears. Whatever's comfortable for you here. If you have shoulder issues, sometimes biceps to the ear is really uncomfortable. So you can bring them forward, or you can keep your hands to your heart. We're not going to stay here forever, don't worry, even though I know you guys all love chairs so much. Take one more inhale. Imagine lengthening through the spine a little more. One more exhale to take it a tiny bit deeper. And then as you inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, now we're going to get a little tricky with that chair. So you can stay with regular chair, or if you'd like, we're going to lift the heels. If you're going to lift your heels, take your feet a little bit further apart. Hands to your heart, or bring them straight ahead. Rise up onto the balls of your feet, and then bend your knees and sit your hips back. And remember, pulling those lower abs to keep that spine long. You don't have to come very low here, and you might wobble. You might have to step out of it a little bit. You might want to bring it back to regular chair if that feels comfortable for you here. We're going to hold one more breath, really lengthening through the spine. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to lengthen up, and then lower your heels. Fantastic job, guys. I know, even though I can't see you, I know you guys all did really awesome there. So we're going to do one more standing balance, and it's one of my favorites. I do it a lot of times in class if you've been to one of my classes before, and it's in figure 4. So you'll root down into all 4 corners of that right foot, big toe, little toe, inside, outside of your heel. Hands come to your heart. Lift your left knee, flex your foot. For me, I always have to push down a little bit on that hip. It likes to pop up for me. Want my hips nice and even. Bring your left ankle in front of your right thigh or shin. Either one's a great option. You want to keep that foot flexed, knee and hip open. Relax your neck and your jaw. Shoulder blades slide down the back. This is a great place to stay working on your balance, lengthening through the spine. If you want a little more challenge or a little deeper stretch in your outer hip, sit back into chair. Good. From here, if you'd like to maybe stretch out your hamstrings, you can let your hands come down to your block or the ground. Lengthen the right leg and try and bring your chest a little closer to that right and left leg. If you're working on flying pigeon, go ahead and take it here. It's wherever you're at today, whatever you want to do. If you're thinking of trying an arm balance, go ahead and go for it. No one's here to look at you. It's all you. On your next inhale, gently rise up, coming back into that figure 4. Release the left leg, set it down. Let's try the other side. Root down all 4 corners of that left foot. Lengthen through the spine, relax the shoulders, lift that right knee, and if you're like me, push down on that hip, make them nice and even. Ankle comes in front of your thigh or your shin. Great place to stay here, or you can take it back to a seat. You can bring your hands down, lengthen your left leg. You can go for that arm balance. Wherever you're at today, we're going to take a few breaths. Feel free to step out of it if you need to. Know that you might wobble. You might fall a little bit. If you feel your leg really wobbling, try and press on the inner edge of that left foot. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, soften your knee a little bit. Take about one more round of breath here. Then gently release that leg, or rise up. Release that leg, set it down, shake it out. How do we do, guys? Awesome, huh? Fantastic job. I know sometimes, especially if you're trying to work on an arm balance or take your practice a little bit further, sometimes if you're in a class, you don't want to do something and people look at you if you fall or you wobble, which I always tell people, that's what yoga class is for, no judgment. You try your best and you see what you can do. But if that still makes you uncomfortable right here in the comfort of your home or wherever you're at, you can try anything. No one's there to judge you, no one's there to look at you unless your cats or dogs are running around. Let's take a big breath in. Palms come together, exhale to your heart. Now let's bring it down, let's stretch it out and relax a little bit here. So fold forward. Bend your knees and come down into a little ball. And then come down onto the floor. Find about the mid spot on your mat here. Knees bent, feet flat. Block by your side or blanket or cushion. And gently roll down onto your back. Bring your right knee into your chest. You can grab the back of your thigh, the front of your shin. Take just a couple breaths here. Give that leg a nice little hug. And then you're going to lift your leg up towards the sky. So maybe you can grab your thigh, maybe you can grab your shin. Maybe you just have that leg lifting there. You want to relax your shoulders down onto the mat. Leg lifts up to the sky, maybe lengthen out your left leg as well. Take a couple breaths here. Imagine that leg is coming a little bit closer towards your chest, a little bit closer towards you. Take one more breath here. Bend your left knee, plant your foot, and put that right ankle in front of your thigh, our figure 4, like we just did. And you can bring your legs in towards your chest, flexing both feet. You can grab the back of your thigh, you can lift your leg up to the sky, whatever feels good here. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Take a few breaths. Feel free to soften your gaze here or even close your eyes if it feels good. And as you take that next exhale, let your left foot come down to the mat, but keep your legs in the figure 4. Arms come out to the side. And on your next exhale, let your legs fall over to the right side. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back up through center. Exhale over to the right. One more time, bring them up through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, come back up through center. Release that right leg, set your foot on the floor. Bring your left leg in towards your chest. Give that leg a nice little hug. Take a couple breaths here. One more breath. And then lift that leg up to the sky. And you can grab your thigh or your shin or just let your hands relax. Soften your knee if it's a little intense. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. Relax your eyelids. Focus in on your breath. You've got one more round of breath here. Bring your ankle in front of your thigh. Come into that figure 4. Legs come in towards your chest, keeping both feet flexed. Maybe you can grab your thigh or your shin. Maybe you want to lift that right leg. And just breathe. Keep your foot flexed and your knee and your hip open. So sometimes when we slow down our practice, thoughts start to pop into our head. There's a lot going on in the world today. A lot of thoughts probably going through your head. And it's okay. you can't shut off your mind. It's very hard to just shut everything out and nothing pop in. So it's okay for those thoughts to pop in, but then just let them go. Let them float away like clouds. Try and bring your focus back to you, back to your body, back to your breath. Let that right foot come down to the mat, arms come out by your side. As you exhale, let your legs fall to the left side this time. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back through center. One more time each side. Over to the left. And come back. Over to the right. And come back. Bring both knees towards your belly, leaving your lower back on the ground. Give those legs a hug and maybe rock a little side to side or draw some little circles with your knees. One more breath here. Bring your feet to the mat. Grab your block or your pillow or your blanket that you're going to roll up. Lift your hips and place whatever you have here under your low back, just above the glutes. If you have a block, you can take it to whatever level you like. Lift your shoulders, shrug them back to open up your chest, and settle back down. You can stay here for supported bridge. You can take legs up for waterfall, legs long, or whatever variation you like. We're going to be here 4 rounds of breath. So really focus in on your breath. Imagine whatever support you have, your block or your blanket or whatever, just imagine it starting to gently release the muscles of your lower back. Just that slight pressure that's starting to relax and release. Let it support you, let it support your weight. And just focus on your breath. Sometimes, I know for me, the best thing I can do is just as I inhale, mentally say inhale. And as I exhale, just say exhale. That helps me focus inward and start to let go of exterior things, bringing my focus into my body and into my breath. Let's take one more round of breath wherever you're at. Good. Bend your knees, bring your feet back to your mat if they're not there already. Gently lift your hips and slide your block or your cushion, whatever you have, out from underneath and set it to the side. Maybe bring your knees to your belly and give them another hug. Or take any final moves that you'd like before that final rest. If you like to do a bridge or a happy baby or anything else that you'd like, take about 3 rounds of breath here. And if you feel ready for your rest, you can find that shape now. One more round of breath. If you're not there already, find that final resting pose for the end of your class here, that relaxation. It can be legs long, arms by your side, like you see a more traditional Shavasana. You can bend your knees, come into a bound angle, a butterfly pose. If you have low back issues today, you can bend your knees, bring your feet wide, and let your knees fall into each other. Or you can have a seat, whatever feels good. Soften your gaze or close your eyes and take a few rounds of breath to do a nice full body scan. Start at the crown of your head. Any place that you notice you're still holding on to anything, any tension, any stress, any tightness, Just imagine wrapping that up in the bubble and letting it float away. Focus in on your breath. If it helps for you to say inhale and exhale as you do it, go ahead. Or whatever else works for you today. Let your mind, your body rest and relax. And I will guide you back. Feel free to stay here as long as you need, focusing on your breath, resting and relaxing. If you're ready, you can start to come out of it now. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Friends, please stay well. Please take care of yourself. Please check in with others. From my heart to yours, light, love, and kindness.